player, you take instructions from your coaches. They will tell you what to do, how you should play, and everything. And then being as a coach, you have to sit down and then plan how the team should go, how the players should move. So it's like everything is on you.
Which is more difficult, playing or coaching?
I think coaching is difficult because every day you need to plan and then to get the results.
The last time I spoke to your boss, Mashefo, he was telling me that you are trying to let 11 players or 11 men buy your idea. Yeah. It's not easy. Everyone has their own mind. So yes. Coaching is not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy.
And in the Ghana Premier League especially, what are some of the things that make it very difficult?
I don't see it as difficult because most of the players are very talented and then they easily adapt to the system the coaches are teaching. But when you get a player who is not ready to learn, that makes it very difficult because if a player cannot understand what you want to do, your motto, your achievement for the week, it means he's making your job difficult. That's why sometimes coaches want players who will listen to him, who will work with what he wants to do. So it's not that difficult, but I think we are working.
Now, a question that I always ask every former footballer who comes on this show is, during your time, your era, and what we have now in terms of talent and quality, do you think there's a gap in there?
I'm one person who doesn't compare because season and time changes. And then every season has its own people who are in. They are very good players. Our time we're very good, and then we have very good players who are coming now. But I think the problem we are having is that social media thing and those things. Yep. Also, our time it wasn't that much, but now people are learning a lot from the social media, and then they have their own idea of how to play football. So as you are teaching, they have their own idea of also playing. I want to do this. Instead of listening to the coach to do what the coach wants, he is coming in with his own idea. I think that is the difference now, but we have great players now.
You have been in both ends before. What really are some of the things that hinders or prevents a normal Ghanaian player, a typical Ghanaian player from coast football who has been through the ranks to get to the highest level? Because I stayed in Kumasi, but we had a lot of players from coast who were extremely talented, but most of them did not get to the top.
I can't say much because it depends on the person, because some people cannot pass through tough decisions and tough times, and then so through that maybe you prefer to go and do business or something else. But in football, if you are not tough, you cannot move.
And you need a lot of patience as well.
Patience, because you will not get it as you want it. Always some rough roads, you will pass through some rough roads, and then things will not go how you want it. So always you have to be focused and then plan ahead. If you know what you want to achieve, that is what you have to stick to and then push, and then you will get there.
Of course, and it's not easy. We'll talk a lot about Heart of Lions this evening, but let me go to Shaban because he has already come up with the Ghana Premier League table. We know that Mediema are leading the log with 40 points. Gold Stars are second with 33. Asante Kotoko following suit. There's Adriana, there's Heart of Oak, who themselves are playing 11 wonders. Is it one of the games that Heart of Oak cannot afford to drop points?
Well, so before I go straight to the Heart of Oak fixture, in 2008, I wanted to meet Daniel Nieje and Esme Mens. I remember 2008, Daniel Nieje, Jordan Opoku, who are now coaches. Jordan Opoku is with Wafa, Nieje with Heart of Lions, a lot of them. And when I wanted to meet them, it was difficult. Honestly, I was told to move out from where I was standing.
Oh, now Kotoko captain that time.
Yes,
it's not easy.
Eventually,
you know.
Yes,
you've been around this game.
Eventually, I got to meet Sami Eje and then took picture with him. But unfortunately, I didn't get to meet SMMS. And then, interestingly, I now work with SMMS at the GFA, and then also our legend Daniel Nieje is also with us here, and so that's positive. So after about 18 years, I've got to meet them in life again. But this is the table, and you are talking about the 11 wonders Heart of Oak fixture, a tough one. And Mutala, look, 11 Wonders in 10 home games played, they've lost 7. They've drawn 1, and that was their goalless draw game against Karela United at the Swedre Stadium. And then they've won 2 of their fixtures, and all the 2 games won at the University of Ghana Stadium, one against Basake Oli Stars, and of course, their last home game, they won 2-0, convincing scoreline against Basake Oli Stars. So they are optimistic that going into this fixture against Heart of Oak, they are going to do wonders. Now, let's talk about Heart of Oak. Heart of Oak sits 5th place with 32 points. A win for them will push them to 35 points. Depending on the results of Mediama Sporting Club, that is where we can tell if Heart of Oak are still title contenders or not. But as it stands now, because Mediama have gotten 40 points, they need 20 more points to be champions of the league, because the history of the league tells us that if you want to be champion in the 18-club league, you need 60. The remaining points or the remaining plus points is the records you are setting. For example, Kotoko won the league with 67 points, and then Heart of Oak won the league with 61 points, Samatech 61 points, Mediama won the league with 60 points, and then in the records, Mediama is the club to have won the league with the lowest points accumulated, and that was in the 2022-23 season. And so we are looking at how the league table will turn out after match day 20. And so 11 Wonders, they sit 18th place with a win. It will keep pushing them, because currently the points difference between them and the 17th place team, who are also sinking in the relegation zone, is 10 points. And so it makes it more difficult. But let's look at the statistics between Heart of Oak and 11 Wonders, like I said.
Yeah, but these are the games that are like banana peels. You might think because 11 Wonders are rock bottom and not playing well, you can beat them easily. These teams, sometimes they play without any fear.
Yes, you can say that. Yes, it will be very easy game for Heart of Oak, like the Dreams FC fixture, where on records Dreams FC have not recorded any away fixture win. And then we thought that Heart of Oak at the University of Ghana, 3 matches, 3 wins, they were going to get that point smoothly, but it was difficult for them. Dreams FC missing out some key chances, and so this is how the game is going to go. 11 Wonders in 10 home matches, just 2 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. Heart of Oak at the University of Ghana Stadium first. They've won 3 of their 4 matches played at the venue. They are yet to concede a goal, and they've scored only 3 goals, and they score 1 in each of their matches, apart from that fixture against Dreams FC. Now, for 11 Wonders, they've lost some couple of games at the University of Ghana Stadium. This is their records against Heart of Oak, and this is their total matches played against Heart of Oak. Don't forget that in the 2021-22 season, 11 Wonders were relegated in the Ghana Premier League. They had 40 points. Then RTU had 41 points, and they stayed 15th place. And so just 1 point was the reason why 11 Wonders were relegated in that specific season. And it was that season when 11 Wonders won a Premier League fixture against Heart of Oak. Now, in 2020-21, if you remember, the likes of Salif Ibrahim were all playing for 11 Wonders. They lost 2-0. In the second round, Salifu moved to Heart of Oak. They beat 11 Wonders 1-0 in Techiman. Then, in the 2021-22 season, when 11 Wonders were relegated, Heart of Oak beat them 4-1. Salim Adams, Kofi Koji, Daniel Banye, Ifiye were all on the score sheet. Then again, 11 Wonders, when they wanted to avoid relegation, this was match day 30. And then eventually they won 2-1. And in the records, it is their only win against Heart of Oak in their Premier League history. This season, they lost their first leg 1-0 against Heart of Oak. A total of 5 matches played between 11 Wonders and Heart of Oak. 4 wins for Heart of Oak, 1 win for 11 Wonders. And clearly the metrics tells us that among these two sides, we don't see a draw. It is either Heart of Oak win with the percentage of 90 and then 11 Wonders win with just 10%.
So it's Heart of Oak, 11 Wonders. Let me come back to Daniel on this. Dan, there are those who believe that 11 Wonders not playing at Techiman is really affecting them. I remember Heart of Lions found themselves in that situation some 2 seasons ago. Is that really a factor in why they are rock bottom of the Ghana Premier League?
Yeah, it can be a factor, because that's where they played their Division 1 and then won and then became the top of that time.
Yeah.
And then everybody was expecting them to play their home games at Techiman, and then the disappointment came that they are not going to play there. When you are playing and then you don't have support behind you, I think it doesn't help, because you need people to cheer you up, people to encourage you, and then when you are doing well, we have people who encourage, and when you are not doing well, we have people there that can also be telling you are not doing,
and it all motivates you to go on and do.
Yes, and I think it's a factor that they are not playing there.
You have played Heart of Oak this season. You drew goalless in that game. If I remember, Heart of Lions drew goalless with Heart of Oak. people are praising Didi Dramani. What could he have done different that is making Heart of Oak take this season? And there's some level of improvement that we can all see, because almost the same crop of players who were there last season are still around.
I think the discipline wise, because if you're a coach and then you bring in discipline into your team, I think everybody is there to take a decision on what to do, what not to do. And then I think education.
Okay.
Because he's a coach who has coached me before, Kotoko, and then he makes sure you understand the game. He doesn't just come to the field and then come and do things, but he will sit you down.
Is he one of the best managers you played under?
Yes, and then he was the one who was advising me to go into coaching, but at that time my mind was not there.
Really?
Yeah, that time he was also at the coaching this thing.
Right to Dream?
No, he and Otia Kenten.
Oh, okay.
They were the one organizing, and then anytime I would come from Congo and I meet him, he tell me, Daniel, you need to do this. But that time I wasn't ready. And then the day he saw me as a coach, I think he was very happy, and he said, now I'm going to call you.
Is there more that we can tap as a nation from the likes of Didi Dramani, who have been around for a long time?
I think so, because he has been there in the national team, and then everybody knows what he can do. You see, sometimes you forget about those people, so we don't learn from them. And then there are some people that I learn a lot from them, because if I work with you, there are some things that is in me, and then I try to save them, and then one day use it. So he will make you understand the game before you go into a game. And I think that is something that has brought stability in the Hearts team.
Of course, and Heart of Oak, they will be coming up against 11 Wonders on Saturday at the University of Ghana Sports Stadium. The game will be live on TV3 and on Nia TV. Asante Kotoko, Daniel's former team, he won the league title with them. They would be back in action. They are playing Baseke Holy Stars. It's not going to be an easy game for them. The first leg of this fixture actually saw Baseke Holy Stars defeat Asante Kotoko. Kotoko are coming off the back of that goalless draw against BBN Gold Stars. There's pressure, huge pressure on their coach Karim Zito, because we are hearing that he's been given a 3-game ultimatum. He's drawn 1 and he's left with 2. I'm sure he would want to win this one. Shaban Kotoko, Albert Samoa back in the ranks, a lot of confidence in the air, but you are playing a team that is trying to move further away from the relegation zone.
Yes, so a battle for the league title, a relegation battle, and key part is that at the relegation zone, Vision FC are in the Young Apostles, Bechem United, Brekum Chelsea, and this is the points gap. 20. A win for Brekum Chelsea gives them 23 points, and that will be the same points as Baseke Holy Stars. Don't forget that Brekum Chelsea have -7, Baseke has -6, and so if Brekum Chelsea should win 2 matches, they will have a better record than Baseke, and that will drop them to the relegation zone. So this fixture is key for Baseke Holy Stars' progress. Now, for Asante Kotoko, they believe that still they can win the league title, and these are fixtures that you need to give your all at home to be able to win the game. And so a win for them will give them 45 points, and that will be 5 points difference, Mediama Sporting Club, depending on their fixture. Again, Kotoko are unbeaten at home in their last 20 league games, 15 wins, 5 draws, and the last time Kotoko lost a fixture at home was way back 17th November 2024. Until 2025, Kotoko went unbeaten at home in the Premier League, and that gives them the advantage. For Baseke Holy Stars, they are yet to record a victory away this season. They have a total of 3 draws in 10 matches played. That is against Bechem United in match day 2. And then against Ediana FC, the goalless draw in Doma, and the 1-1 against Mediama Sporting Club at the TNA Stadium, and that was a surprising result. But let's look at the statistics between both sides, and clearly we can tell that between Baseke Holy Stars and Asante Kotoko, we have a total of 3 matches played, because Baseke made their debut in the Premier League in the 2024-2025 season when they recorded a 1-1 draw against Kotoko. Albert Anwa, who has returned to Kotoko, scored for Kotoko, and Prince Trinidad had a goal for Baseke Holy Stars. It was the season when Prince Trinidad scored against Heart of Oak and also got a goal against Asante Kotoko. Then the return leg, Kotoko won 1-0. Interestingly, Samuel Tinedu, who is not part of Kotoko now, got the goal and is currently playing for Brekum Chelsea. Then this season, through Prince Trinidad Somoa, they got 2 goals ahead of Asante Kotoko. And so 3 matches between these sides, 1 win for Kotoko, 1 win for Basake Oli Stars, and 1 draw. We expect a very tough fixture.
Now you talked about Albert Samoa being back. If you can show us how Kotoko will line up. But before we do that, Coach, you played Basake Oli Stars in the first leg. You beat them about 3-0. But you still told me that they have a very good side.
They are very good. They are very good. And then I think Coach Johnson Smith has also added a lot of tactics and then a lot of confidence into the team. And then he's one person who also coached me, and I know him. He's somebody who likes to play football. And then organization is something that he's very good at. And then you can see that ever since he took over, you see how they have been playing. I think they've only lost, I think, 1 or so.
Oh, what is that attitude with players where when a new manager comes, suddenly everybody wakes up and everyone is alive? Is it a psychological thing?
It's not attitude. Sometimes, based on the new coach, I want to work so that I can get selection. And then maybe the philosophy the coaches brings in, and then also helps the players to also come up. It depends. It depends.
Now, one person you also know very well is Karim Zito. He said some time back that the reason why Asante Kotoko are not even on top of the table has to do with injuries. At a point, they had 13 injuries or 13 players who were injured. Is that really an excuse? Because, I mean, the fans of Asante Kotoko were having none of that. You have played the club before. You know the club inside out. Is that really an excuse? When you have about 13 players who are very instrumental to your cause being injured?
I would say it depends because, you know, basically you register a lot of players. But you have some players that you know that if they are in, they can give you results. Yes, every player is there to play, but coaches have some confidence in some players more than some players. And then I think, based on his philosophy, he thinks that those people who were injured, if they were inside, will not go down as they went. So that is his.
Is there pressure working with Kotoko? Is there pressure, whether a player or a coach? Is there pressure when you are working with Kotoko?
It depends on the person. Me, for instance, I play like 6 years. Through bad times, good times, but I was there. How you take in things is how you come up. If you think that people shouting and then insulting will keep you away from playing, you can't come up. But if you absorb it and then know that you have something, you have a target to achieve, so you can overcome all those pressures.
With what you're saying, it looks like you need to have a certain mentality to be able to play Asante Kotoko, right?
Yes.
So not every player can play Kotoko.
Not. When I was there, a lot of players came in who couldn't play.
But they were good players where they were.
They were very good. Very, very good players, but they couldn't play.
Wow. So, well, let's talk about how those, line up in this game. There's a huge probability that Albert Amua could play his first game for Kotoko ever since returning from Al Ali Benghazi. Last weekend, it was a good shift for Dogo Yakubu, who signed for them recently, and also Saka Dauda also had minutes. How could they set up Shaban for this one?
Well, so we know that Coach Abdul Karim Zito Kabute would always go for the best option, irrespective of when the player signed, and that is why last week, after signing Dogo Yakubu from Mid City, he was given the opportunity, and he delivered against Bebiani Gold Stars. And Mutala, I was asking myself this question. If you look at the number of attackers at Asante Kotoko, maybe it is going to be difficult for Abdul Karim Zito to get the 3 starters, the 4 starters, and that is why he's likely to go with 4 attackers in a single game. You have Peter Midu Aqua, you have Saka Dauda as a winger, but they will be joining the midfield. You have Albert Amwa and then Dogo Yakubu. But the question is that when is he going to give the likes of Kwame Poku, Morifin Donsu the opportunity to also play? Inusa, Adams are all good players. In the absence of these players, they delivered for Asante Kotoko. But this is how Kotoko are going to approach the game. Now, if you look at Basake Oli Stars, this is the approach. One top Richmond Somwa will be leading the attack for them as one top player. But then we'll have 2 players leading the attack for Kotoko. Albert Amwa, he scored 2 goals in 3 matches before departing Kotoko, and he's back again in the Premier League with 2 goals to his credit. And then you have Dogo Yakubu, who delivered excellently against their opponent, Bibiani Gold Stars. Now, you have Peter Midu Aqua from the flanks, and then Saka Dauda from the flanks as well. And so, this is Asante Kotoko. They are going to have about 4 players attacking their opponent Basake Oli Stars, and this is also going to force Basake Oli Stars to drop with Kofi Hagan and then Gabriel Apia dropping to the back, because Prince Bedu will be doing the work in the midfield, and Hubert Jehu is also going to join the attack. And then we have Kwesin, a winger, because the strength of Basake Oli Stars is 2 players. That's Prince Trineboa and then Kwesin. And so we are going to see these players now coming to approach the game in this style, because Kotoko are going to now deliver from the flanks. And so they are going to use the midfield or the center forwards to make sure that they punish Samba and Ansu whenever there is a problem. Now, Joseph Amwa, we have Lord Amwa. These players are going to also join the attack. And so this is going to be the approach of Basake Oli Stars, with their striker, Richmond Somoa, playing behind the 2 wingers, because he is also very good in terms of controlling the ball, with Sylvester Simba joining the defense to prevent Kotoko's attackers from also getting the chance. But this is my quick observation, and it is likely, if Basake Oli Stars are going to allow spaces, this is one space. Basake played against 11 Wonders, and look at how they allowed 11 Wonders to penetrate their 18.
I think they lost that game by 2 goals to 0.
Yes, and this is it. Look, you have 3 players, and these are the players. You have one defender, another defender, and one here. But look at how the ball was given to Muna to score. And if you do this against Asante Kotoko, they are going to punish you, because they have Albert Amwa, who is a clinical finisher. They have Dogo, who is also very good in terms of pace, because I'm yet to see him score a goal. But in terms of pace, we know Dogo is very good. Peter Amiduakwa, with these chances created, one more, you look at the space, with just a player, 3 players, allowing him to get a goal, is going to be very dangerous for Basake Oli Stars. Now, I want us to look at one more, and this is the strength of Asante Kotoko.
Yeah.
This is Kotoko against Bibiani Gold Stars. And let's look at how Kotoko delivered in this game. 1-2, this is Saka Dauda, and look at the penetrating passes between Kotoko players. And look at the Kotoko players, one here, another, and look at it. And this is a
they have
tactical
about 4
approach.
players attacking.
This is a tactical approach. Look at the Bibiani Gold Stars defenders. They have marked Kotoko. But how Kotoko is playing, it will be difficult for you to mark them. And this is it. One player here, another here, one here. And then the 3 players are chasing the 2 who are now looking for spaces. Let's look at how Kotoko approach one. And then we can be able to tell if Basake Oli Stars can defend well against Kotoko. One, and this is the opportunity. And if you are going to play against sides that have good clinical finishes, because this is a chance that Morifin Dozo failed to convert. But with Albert Amwa, a little space is an opportunity for him to convert into a goal.
Now, Coach, you were midfielder during your days at Kotoko. You've seen the current crop of players. Is Hubeje one of the best midfielders you've seen in recent times at the club?
Yeah, it's very.
What makes him that good?
It's one player who has been box to box, always joining the attack, and then always at the back defending, and then he carries the ball well, and then always shooting behind the 18. And then if you have a midfielder who can shoot from behind the box, it makes the team very dangerous, because if you can't find the strikers, you have midfielders who can shoot and then supply balls to the attackers, and then also one shoot can surprise the goalkeeper, and then they can get a goal from it.
Of course. Now, during your time, who would you liken him to, his style of play?
At Kotoko?
Yeah, at Kotoko.
Myself or Jordan?
Jordan, okay. Now, quick one on Samba Onel. You've played with a lot of foreigners in the Ghana Premier League. I can remember a host of names that have played for Kotoko. Is Samba also one of the best foreigners we have in the Ghana Premier League, or you have seen?
Yes, he's one of the best, because getting the team and then playing like that, it means that he's ready, because some of them will come and then they cannot play their hearts out, but you can see he's from Ghana, and then he loves the team. He loves what he does on the field of play. He doesn't want to lose. And then if you have a player who is playing and doesn't want to lose, you see him taking control of the game, and then he's always ready to fight, and then always ready to die for the team. And
one thing I can say about Samba is that he plays with his heart for Asante Kotoko. He has that deep affection for the club. Now let's talk about your own club, the club that you coach now, Heart of Lions. You are coming up against Bichibi United. You started the season brilliantly. We're all waxing lyrical about Heart of Lions and how brilliant the midfield is of Boama, Echidogli. We were all talking about it. Then all of a sudden, everything just crumbled. You've won 8 games without a win, and just last week you had a 1-0 victory against 11 Wonders. I've seen highlights of the game. You could have won 10-0. What really happened? Tell us, what really happened?
In that game, or
no, to your season so far, because you started brilliantly. I remember the first 6 games. Shaban was even talking about the fact that Heart of Lions would be one of the main contenders. Then all of a sudden, it was like a quick turn, and your form currently is in contrast to what we saw early past. What really happened to the team?
Well, it's very difficult to pinpoint something out, but I think the game, that is how sometimes it goes. You can start very good, and then during some mid-season, you can drop. And then if you are not careful, and then if you can't plan well, and then get back to the field, before you realize you've dropped to the relegation. But I think we've been lucky that most teams that were behind us are not catching up, and then that's what has helped us be at the 7th position. But I think we are doing everything right. We are working very well. We create a lot of chances, but for the ball to enter the net, that is the problem.
Now, you are working with a lot of young players, some who have not been in this situation before, where you've gone on a very long losing streak. How you know all about this? I mean, you've been at Kotoko, TP Mazembe. How do you get them back mentally to be ready for games? Because sometimes 1 defeat, 2 defeats, it feels like, oh, game now you come cry, you lose. How do you get them ready?
It hasn't been easy, because if you are doing something and you're not getting results, sometimes the mind itself cannot wake up. But we've encouraged them a lot. I will tell you, our last match, we got to a time, the strikers, they nearly gave up because they were creating a lot of chances, and then the ball were not going to the net. So we got to a time that we have to come up and then sub some of them and then bring in, because they were devastated. They were heartbroken because they created a lot of chances, and
I saw videos of
and the ball will not
game.
enter. So you have to encourage them and tell them that we can still do it.
Your midfield trio, we've all been talking about that trio: Boama, Ishmael Ado, Echidogli. Echidogli from Banana Inn, Division 2, all of a sudden playing as if he's been around for a long time. How did you get that combination to work? Because at a point, I know Boama was not even a starter at the club.
It's about knowing them. If I know you and I know how you can work, especially we have a coach who has seen it all. So with his advice and then with the quality that we have, we can know that if this and this player, we pair them, we can then assigning them to a role. I think that is something that has helped us, because we have a chair who win balls, we have a do who can control the game, and then we have Boama who can go up and then also come back to come and defend. So we saw them that they can work together, and then with them in the midfield, we can keep the ball, we can give good passes, and then we can follow up to go and score. So that is how the 3 of them came together, because we saw that Eche is very strong in winning balls. Ado is very, very strong distributing and then holding play. He can slow the game, he can fasten the game, and then you have Boama who can go to attack, and then he knows how to score, and then also now know how to defend. So we saw that, and then we said we should try and then combine them, and then it worked.
Now you've won against 11 Wonders after 8 games without winning. You're playing Bichim United, who are also closer to the relegation, so they are 15. They are struggling. You are going to the Nana Fosuji Abo Park. You know that venue very well. What is the game plan? What will be a good result for Heart of Lions, knowing the current condition that you find yourself in?
I think getting a good result.
Which will be what? A draw?
It can be a win, it can be a draw. Because I know that place is not easy to go.
But Bichim are not playing well.
Sometimes it doesn't matter, because since I came to the team, I think last season we lost 3-0 at Bichim. And then if you come to my home and I've been able to beat you, I have that confidence that when you come, can beat you again. So going in there is not easy, but we are preparing to go and then get something from it.
Well, let's see what happens with that one. But Shaban, let's move on and go to Swedro because they would also be hosting Aduana FC. That defeat to Vision did not really help Aduana's cause. At a point, they were leading the Ghana Premier League table. Then I think they got a winner in their last game against Young Apostles. Now they are traveling to Swedro, a very, very tricky grounds.
Well, before I talk about the game, I listened to Daniel Nieje spoke about his attackers failing to convert the chances they have. But then my important question is that, you see, if you look at the Heart of Lions attackers, we have Chelsea Freeman. He's been part of the Premier League. Some years back in 2020, he played for Inter Allies. You have Michael Efson, under 20. He featured for under 20 again. FC Samatex. Kojo Obin Jr. from Nia Salamina to Heart of Oak for about 4 seasons before he signed for Heart of Lions. And on. They have a lot of strikers, Sidorf Asante. And so, to my big, maybe there's something beyond.
You can ask him. He's here, so you can throw that question to him.
Well,
ask him what is really happening with the attack.
I told you that Heart of Lions are title contenders after 6 matches. Join against Heart of Oak, join against Kotoko and Kumasi. There's no change of technical team. There's no change of players. In fact, at a point when Lawrence Osei and Echodogli went to South Africa with us for the Chan friendly game, I thought that it was going to be a morale booster for these players at the club side. But unfortunately, things are getting worse. And look, if you look at the position of Bechem United, they have, if you look at the total points amassed, 22 points. If they fail to win this game to go 25 points in the Premier League, then it is going to be difficult for them. For Heart of Lions, it is going to be an embarrassment for going 10 matches and winning just once in 10 matches. Honestly, it is going to be a big disadvantage for them, especially when we thought that Lions were title contenders and now they are beginning to be a mid-table side. Maybe they have to look at something beyond their attackers and also their midfielder, because you spoke about the 3 players, Echidogli, Samobu Amakwansa, Ishmael Ado, and these are the best in the Premier League, 3 best players, and they will fit in any other team in the Premier League. Maybe they have to look at that. But let's look at Swedro Blacks. Like you said, they are playing the Diana FC. All Blacks have not been that good side at home, honestly, because if you are playing a league and you play 10 matches at home and you fail to win even 5, then you are a struggling side. They have just 4 wins at home, and I think they have to work at it. Maybe in the last few days, the issues about coaching has been on their neck, and for now, they are a bit relieved because Ahmed Fati is currently is not in the country now at the moment, and so it gives them the opportunity to now focus on getting a new gaffer who is going to take charge for them. For Aduana FC, the last game they played, you were there. Shoba Aristika wasn't so happy with the performance of the team. At a point in time, he was complaining about other things beyond football. And so he will not be on the bench. And that is also going to be a big disadvantage for Aduana because you are going to play a game without your head coach. He will be in the stands observing the game. And that is also not good for them. All Blacks would have the advantage. Aduana FC, if they fail to win this game as well, their chances of winning the league keeps dropping. Because for now, Mediama, 40 points. And if you keep dropping points as a chaser, or a side that is chasing for the league title, then you give that opportunity for the league leader to enjoy on top of the league table. And so a decider for Aduana, if they want to win the league, this is a fixture to win. If Swedro Blacks wants to survive comfortably, because there is a survivor which is not comfortable, you have to battle to the end, where you get to know that, no, for now, at 16th place, I'm safe, I'm not there. I finished around 12th, 13th, 14th. But at this stage, you need to win this fixture to survive. So
Aduana would have to win to keep tabs on Mediema, who themselves are playing Karela. Dan, you've played Mediema this season. They are on top of the Ghana Premier League. What is different about their squad? Last season, I mean, they were blown out of the title race. This time, it looks like they are real deals.
Yeah. Very organized team. With, you see the coach is there.
Ibrahim Tanko.
Yeah, very good coach. And then I think when your players understand your system, that makes a lot of things.